Morning, gifted crafters. It's crafting time.
Me and my friends are having a great time. It's not face to face, it's all online. We're all in our homes, miles away. Love them like my family, what can I say? My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you're never alone.
Live from the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida, here is the Gifted Crafters Morning Show with Nancy.
Let's have a good time. Ooh, time to get our craft on. Ooh, time to have fun. Ooh, time to feel good.
Good morning, Gifted Crafters, and welcome back to the Gifted Crafters Morning Show. Good morning out there. We've got people that tune in from all over the world, so let's say a quick hello to them. I see Faker McFake from Louisiana, 71 degrees and not a cloud in the sky. Awesome. Well, great weather for you. All right, we've got Debbie Maddox. Good morning to you. We've got 100 Proof Quilter. Good morning. And of course, we've got Sassy. Good morning to you. We've got Barb Chumley. Good morning. And Marge from Wisconsin. Good morning to you. Barbara's from Ohio. We've got JBL from Alabama. Good morning. We've got Quilting with Harriet from Indiana. Hey, how are you, Harriet? We've got, let's see, Dorothy Hayes. Oh, it's Dorothy Hayes morning. Sorry, these changing the channels really throw me off here a little bit. We've got Marilyn. Good morning to you. Jenny Owens. Good morning. We've got Sharon. Good morning. Gosh, let's see. Oh, Jenny was from San Antonio, Texas. Of course, we've got Lisa Lilly. Good morning to you from Richmond, Illinois. Oh, she'll be listening while she's driving to her appointment. Well, safe travels to you, Lisa. All righty. We've got Heather Kaufman. Happy Monday. Yay. We're back again. Great for another week here. Of course, our friends from Canada are here. Good morning to you. We've got, let's see, Joyce Adams from Philly, Kathy from Pennsylvania. Good morning. Melissa Hutchkins from East Texas and Cindy Ball from Michigan. Good morning all to you. Well, we are ready to start off a whole new week. And we've got a few things to talk about today because I have some stuff that's kind of been coming in and they've been piling up faster than my projects. So I need to kind of show you guys what I have been getting, and I have a couple things to show you here today. And one that I'm pretty excited about, it's kind of a new technique for me, and I think it's a pretty neat tool. So I want to show that off to you guys. Alrighty, so if you're here for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and in this channel we talk about everything crafting, from sewing, quilting, crocheting, decoupage, and just so much more. So if that's something that you're into, you're certainly in the right place. Go ahead and put your name in the chat and say hello and let us know that you're here for the first time, or you can leave a comment for us, because we like to support all the crafters out there, and I think that everyone here does a fantastic job. Okay, yay, everyone's here, and I think they're all ready to go. Okay, I see everyone chatting away in the chat, which is awesome, and I think we're ready. So the way I like to start every single live that we do, because we are on Monday through Friday every morning, like, we like to go ahead and raise our glasses of whatever it is that you're having in the morning. Coffee, tea, soda, water, it really doesn't matter. Let me just turn this down here. Yeah, I'm getting like a little feedback here. I can hear myself. Alrighty, let me just check. Okay. No, still there. Okay. All right. So then I know what everyone's going to be asking. Mr. H, not here yet. Seat is still empty, and you know, he's still not feeling very well, but he kind of had a weekend. Started to get a little bit better yesterday, and definitely, you know, was getting a little better, and then kind of had a little bit of a setback as he tried to get up. So yeah, it's kind of iffy. So we'll see where we go with that. We're just gonna try to get him over to the doctors pretty soon. So after the show, we'll see what happens, and he has got an appointment. So we will see what happens. You know, you just never know with these things, right? So let's see. Hopefully he gets better. He is remote, and he is remote in, and I had him on the phone, but I had to disconnect because I was getting all kinds of feedback. So I did take that off. And then now I think he's able to kind of go back and forth and look at the chat. So if you have any questions specific for him, go ahead and put it in the chat, because he's there. Okay, so let's get back to our toast, because we were about to get started. So let's go ahead and raise those glasses. If you have something, if you don't, it's okay. Whatever it is that you have in the morning, coffee, tea, soda, water, of course, there's never any judgment. So go ahead and raise your glasses. And if you don't have a cup, I will pour you one. So we'll go ahead and pour that cup for you. So raise those glasses nice and tall. And here's to your health. And here's to another wonderful week of crafting. Hope you guys have a fantastic week. Awesome. Let's go ahead and get that swivel. That feels good. Yeah. Feels really good in the morning. Love it. Okay. Alrighty, so we've got our little toast in. Let's go ahead and grab some snacks. Let's roll out the food truck, because I think we've got some stuff in there. And I think they're like preparing some cakes and stuff. I think so. We got some birthdays that may be coming in, maybe even tomorrow. I'm not sure. But let's go ahead and roll out the food truck. And let's see. We've got everything in the food truck that you would need, you know, all kinds of snacks. They're all totally free. You're not going to gain a pound. So don't even worry about that. You can have anything you want. We've got donuts, we've got croissants, we've got muffins, we've got everything on that truck. So just grab yourself any kind of snack that you want. And of course, we've got healthy stuff like carrots and kale. So don't forget that as well. So grab yourself your snacks, and oh yeah, we've got donuts, because today's Monday. So somebody's got to bring in the donuts, right? So we've got some donuts for you. Alrighty, yay, yummy, right? Awesome. Oh boy, Sue says her coffee is still brewing, and you'll toast as soon as it's finished. Okay, no problem, Sue. Okay, so let's see. Today we are going to talk about, well, first I'm going to give you a little recap on my project that we were working on last week. I did finish it. I put the borders in. I was a little afraid cutting up that last piece of fabric that was in the kit, because I wasn't sure that, because we changed the dimensions of the project and we made it wider, I was afraid I wasn't going to have enough border to go all the way around on the quilt. So I did make myself a little mock-up here. And I did a little mock-up. I will put it on the desk cam. You guys can kind of see it. I just did some measurements of the quilt itself with the inner border and then the actual piece of panel that I had. And this is where you can kind of look to see if you're trying to calculate, do you have enough fabric for something, right? So I was basically just taking the calculations for that. And then I kind of had to go back and figure out, well, let me grab another swivel. Did I have enough for the top part? Okay, sorry about that. I'm getting a little tickle there. So as I was doing the calculations, I had to kind of figure out, okay, how many strips was this going to give me? Excuse me, gosh. How many strips was I going to get from that piece of fabric that was going to allow me to get all the way around? And so the pattern itself called for 6 inches. I was a little afraid of doing the 6 inches because we have widened our project some. So with me doing that, I could be short on the border fabric that was provided. So I went ahead and just did the calculations. I figured I'd get about 7.5, possibly 8 strips of 6-inch strips that I can cut up. And then I wanted to make sure that that would be enough, because remember that our sides were measuring at about 69 inches, but the panel itself, the long side of the panel, was only measuring 46 inches. So I knew I was going to need to join 2 strips together to make up just the one side. So that's why I kind of wanted to take a pause and do that. Sorry. I don't know why I'm getting a tickle all of a sudden as soon as I start talking. Okay, so once I've done that, then I kind of put it together, and I wanted to, because I'm more of a visual person, so I have to kind of draw the little pictures to see it, right? So I had the drawing here, and then I added the 6-inch borders on the side, and then I realized, you know what? My top and bottom are also going to require an additional 12 inches, an additional 6 inches on each side to accommodate this little piece right here that we added on, right? So you're adding on your side borders at 6 inches each. So that top border needs to extend all the way out to the top. So that's where I kind of added some more. And so then it became 61 inches and 69 inches. So I kind of just drew it out visually here. I'll need 1 strip, plus I'll need half of the second strip, and then the other half of the second strip with 1 strip will make the 2 sides here. So it kind of got a little crazy, I guess. I got a little too technical on it, I guess, right? But it can drive you crazy. It really can. And there's all kinds of apps and things that can help you. And I tried to kind of go, I think Robert Kaufman has an app where it'll help you to figure out your yardage and things like that. But I couldn't understand it, because in my head, I kept thinking, but I widen it. So why would my border be able to accommodate all of this, you know, quilt all the way around? And I think it was just because they were generous on the fabrics that they gave you. So if you get, and that's kind of depend on the kit that you get, right? Some are more generous than others. So you have to be really careful that, you know, if you kind of detour from the project instructions that you have here, you really have to do the calculations to make sure that you're going to have enough fabric for the remaining steps once you kind of detour from that. So I went ahead and I did finish it up. I put the top, bottom, and side borders. So I'll just briefly show it to you real quick here, what it looks like. And I'll just do the top and bottom so you can see it, because it is a really large, large quilt. So, but I do like the way it came out, and I'll put a picture in Facebook. I went to my mom's on Sunday and I kind of spread it out on the bed. It wasn't finished at the time. The top and bottom borders needed to be put on, but you can really see a good visual picture of the whole thing as I kind of stretched it out on the bed. So let's see here. Is this top or bottom here? This is top. Let me turn this around. So here is the top border here. And so this little piece right here is what I kind of struggled with, because as I put my first side pieces in, you also had to accommodate, because you were measuring from this corner right here, right? Because this is all you had at the time, and you were measuring your border. But when you put your side borders in, you got to extend it out all the way to this side. So you're no longer measuring from here, you're actually measuring from out here. And so you have to accommodate for this piece, this square right here that goes across. And so of course, you know, it goes all the way across, but this is pretty much it. And you can see, I mean, it's just such a beautiful quilt, but you can see here, I'll try to pick it up just a little bit. You know, it's just, it's gorgeous. It's a really, really nice and very easy quilt to put together. Just because we did that little deviation on the panel, because I just did not want to cut out that panel. There are ways around it. As you can see, we had to kind of do a whole calculation to also include the seam allowances and everything like that. But it can be done, and it really depends on the kit and just how generous they are in terms of making sure you have enough fabric. So that's something that, you know, we were able to do. And I'll just let you get one more last look, and then I'm going to put this over to the side, because I do have to decide on the backing and then the quilting on it. But yeah, this was, I'll try to put it out here, but it's just a huge quilt. It's just so huge. But yeah, but really, really beautiful colors. I love the way the colors look. So I'll go ahead and I will put them in Facebook. I'll put the pictures out. But the ones, remember, the ones that I have do not have the top and bottom borders. It's just fine. It's just so that you could see what the entire thing looks like without borders put together. So very, very nice, easy quilt. I do have another one that's very similar to this one. It's called Dancing Flowers, and it is by Shabby Fabrics. Very, very similar design. I'll show you that in just a second in case you are interested. Oof, not a good fold, but I will deal with this after. Let me see. I have my little project box. I've got one that's very similar to it. Yeah, here it is. I'm sorry, it's called Dragonfly Dance is the name of it. And I'll show you what that looks like right here. Very, very similar concept where you have a panel. This one happens to be right in the middle, just like the other one, but this is going vertical instead of going horizontal, okay? So you want to definitely look at this, but then you can see here all of the pieces that they're putting together here. Again, just big blocks, right? Big blocks with some sashing. In this case, the sashing is dark, so it's black. And then you can see the, let me just grab the other one. You can compare it. This has dark sashing. The other one had light sashing. So here's the two of them together and a side by side. You guys see that? See how it's very, very similar. Just different size blocks. which you can do, and then you just add the panel. You can do it in the middle, you can do it on top, on bottom, but very similar concept, same techniques. So you can do all kinds of different ones out there, and you can just kind of create your own. If you have a panel that you really love and you have some fabric in your stash, you can just decide what sizes you want to cut your squares or rectangles to, and then add some sashing to it, and you're all done. Okay, so it's just something I wanted to show you guys in terms of techniques. You know, there's plenty out there that you can do, you can get to get the very similar output. Okay, let's get to unboxing some of this stuff, shall we? Let me just put this away. This is just a project bag that I picked up while I was at the expo. So lots of fun on that one. Alrighty, here we go. So let's put this over to the side. We've got some Kimberbell stuff. Yay, exciting, right? So these are embroidery projects that you can get, and I'll kind of put this to the side. So Kimberbell had a sale on some of their older boxes or subscription boxes, and so I was able to pick up a couple for a big steal. I think it was a really nice price. So I went ahead and did that, and I got a couple of them to show you. I tried to kind of get everything pre-opened. We'll see how that goes. Let me put this down here. Okay, so we'll start with one here. Okay, so this one is called Perfectly Pieced. Okay, and this is by MeTimes.com on here, and I went ahead and took the plastic off. Let me get rid of it. Lots and lots of plastic here. And again, this is by Kimberbell, and this was the February 2025 box that they had. Again, it's called Perfectly Pieced here, and it's got everything that you need for this embroidery project. There's multiple projects that you can make on here, and you have everything, including thread and all kinds of goodies, to get this done. So let's take a look at what this has here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Oh boy, all kinds of goodies here. All right, so you start off with a beautiful box, first of all, right? And it's got all kinds of goodies inside. So let's take a look at this, each thing here. So we've got a little card here. It says, try a project kit today. And in here, it just basically tells you exactly what's in here. So you've got all the files, instructions, fabrics, and embellishments that you'll need to complete the project. There's full color instructions for every step of the way. And you'll learn all kinds of new embroidery tricks and techniques. It's got really beautiful things that you can kind of put together. And it gives you information on where you can find more information on this stuff. Yeah, you do a lot of Kimberbell? Yeah, I love Kimberbell. I think she's fantastic. So when you purchase this, you'll find the files in your digital library as you go in and log in, and it'll give you pretty much everything that you have here. Let's see, this gives you a little card. It gives you all the digital contents, include the PDF instructions, embroidery files for a 2, 4, 6, and 8-inch block. And then it's got all kinds of different tips and resources and things that you can get. And the card itself will pretty much tell you everything that you need to get this done. Okay, so here's all the instructions here that you can see. They got everything here from digital contents, fabrics, and then on here the temporary adhesive they're saying is what you would need for this project. So really, really nice, very nice presentation in terms of the packaging. So she really does a great job. So let's see what we've got in the box here. First off, we got some thread. Nice to have. And it's a very pretty color. I really love this color. It's kind of like a sage type of color. Can you guys see that? Isn't that beautiful? I think it's gorgeous. Very, very nice color. And it goes very well with the coordinating fabrics that they have on here. So let me get this open. I'm gonna have to snip this open with some scissors because they package it nicely. Keeps the fabrics from getting dirty, so everything is nice and packed. Okay. And we've got everything wrapped up, ready to go here. So let's see what kind of fabrics we're getting with this kit. Very, very nice one right here. I am loving this flower. That's gorgeous. Very, very pretty. Let's take a look at the next one. I'll bring them over. Very nice coordinating fabrics. Now they've got different sizes, and seems like there's more on this one than this. So they're cutting it for your project, for what you're going to need. Here we go. Very nice beige. Very pretty. So they're very light colors. And here we go with some darker ones. And this one right here. And I believe these boxes are still available on their website. They had a few that they're pretty much just bringing down the price on them because they're like boxes, I guess, from the subscriptions that didn't sell out or whatever they have left over. So they're going ahead and they're selling it. Of course, they also include the little sticker. It says "Sipping on Sunshine." So that's pretty cute. And of course, we've got a little button, clip, magnet, whatever you want to call it. Very cute little block right here. I thought that's adorable. And they also give you a 19 by 19 inch piece of batting. So that's what you're going to need for your project. Whoops. Let me get that focused again. There we go. So that comes included. And then this is probably the best part. And I think this is what everyone really loves, Kimberbell, is that they really take the time to put together some really good instructions. And what I love this even more is the fact that they have this full colored glossy paper. All the instructions are here, and they even hole punch it so you could get a little notebook and put all of your Kimberbell instructions on there in case you want to come back and do this again another time. So really, really nice, totally colored. And look at the instructions, guys. If you are a visual person, that's really amazing. Really nice how they put this together. Very, very nice. And so they have everything that you need. That includes the cutting sizes, I mean, everything that you need to make the project. And you're just basically making, this is the main piece, which is this block right here. And you can pretty much do anything with this. You can make a pillow, you can make coasters. They have some examples, a little runner. They have some examples of what projects you can make with this. And then you get to pick. You get to pick what you want to do with this. So you get a little binder and you can organize yourself with all Kimberbell stuff. I know I have that for a few people that I purchase a lot. For example, I really love Crafty Gemini and bag making stuff. So I do a lot of that. So I have a whole binder full of all the stuff that I get from her. Oh, you love, Marina says she loves the perfectly pieced boxes. Yeah. Yeah. You really appreciate that you can skip months that you aren't interested in. Yeah, that's really pretty cool, huh? Because a lot of them don't do that. And it gives you that ability because sometimes you need to take a break or you're going away on vacation or something. And you're not, if you get those subscription boxes, they tend to just pile up and then you never even do them because it just becomes overwhelming. So it's nice that you can kind of pause it. So really like that a lot. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Leslie says she's back from her trip to South Africa. Oh, awesome, Leslie. Oh, share some pictures. I would love to see that. That's amazing. Oh, so lucky. You're so lucky. That's awesome. I'm sure you had a fantastic time. Okay, so that's what came in this box here. And let's see if there's any more information I can tell you on here. Let's see, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, that's what everything comes in the box. They give you the thread, the batting, the fabric, all the instructions, really, really nicely laid out. So I think this is really a great box, especially if you're a beginner and just getting into embroidery. Being able to have these instructions that are so well laid out, even visually, can really make a difference of you being successful and wanting to continue to do it, because some people will just get frustrated and then they stop doing it, right? So I think this box, I love the way she lays it out, and I think it was very well put together. So I'm going to go ahead and stick everything back inside, so I don't want to get my boxes confused. And we're going to look at a couple other things that I got on that same day that she had the sale, which I think is still on. I'm not sure. You may want to check out the site, take a look. She had some boxes. I don't know if there's any left that probably didn't get sold. I'm not sure. You have to check out the site, but I think it's well worth it because they give you the fabrics one, so you don't even have to think about what fabrics you're going to use. Everything's already here, even the batting and the thread, which is pretty amazing. So I think that it's worth it. So I'm going to put these right back in the box, and then we're going to take a look at the next thing that I have. And let me just put the little ribbons, because these are fun too. Okay, so the next thing I got was another machine embroidery kit. And this is just one that they had on sale, and it comes with the embellishment. It's Kimberbell's Top It With a Bow, and it's a quilting ornament machine embroidery kit. So this one's a lot of fun as well. So let's see. We know I purchased a digital subscription so I can use your own fabrics from your stash. Love it. That's awesome. Yeah, and that's a great way to get rid of your stash, right? Because man, sometimes we tend to accumulate and it starts to pile up, and you got to find projects to get this done. This is a great way. Although I love getting the fabrics because, you know, then you don't have to think about it. But if you need to declutter and get rid of some of those fabrics, that's the way to go. Digital, and use your own stash and get creative, right? Just takes a little bit of time and thinking about how you want things to look like, right? So great, great, great idea. Okay, so on this one here, this one's beautiful. My goodness. So we've got a little card here, and it just tells you all the contents that come in the kit. And you can see here, very generous. We've got things from hot fix crystals. You've got all kinds of fabric going on here, you know, all kinds of embellishments, little bows, you know, everything that you really need to get started here. So that's pretty neat. And these are the little ornaments that you're going to be making. Again, nice full colored instructions, already pre-punched so you can put it into your binder, and it has all of these projects here. I'm especially in love with this little one right here. I think she's adorable. I love the tree as well, but yeah, this one really caught my eye, and I could see making a lot of these. And you can, these could even just be coasters if you want to just make them coasters too. You know, that would make a really cute little gift. And if, let's say, you're using your own stash, take a look at this. These are some solids here. Here are some reds, there's some greens, and then you can pick something with a little design around the edge. Very easy for you to make multiples of using your own stash. It gets more complicated when you see things with designs on them like this, because you're not sure if you have it, but you make it your own, right? Doesn't have to have designs. This can definitely be a solid right here, and it will look really beautiful. And then added with the embellishments, I mean, that's crazy, really crazy. So, of course, instructions, everything very clear, laid out very well, and just a nice way to kind of get into embroidery. And she shares all kinds of tips in here too. So I really like that. And I think this kit is going to be a lot of fun to make. It also came with some fabric and batting. So here's the batting that it comes with, and these are all the fabrics. So I'll just kind of go through them quickly. Got a lot of greens on here. Let's see, these two are the same. Got like a little one here, lighter colors coming down the line. We've got some blues. This is gorgeous. This is a very light beige with some bows on here. It's kind of hard for you guys to see it, I think. But it's got some bows on there. Very, very pretty. Very pretty reds. Of course, you've got your polka dots. Oh, how pretty is that? Let's see. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And that's it. So then you've got your embellishments. We've got some bows. We've got some rhinestones here that it comes with, and some string to help you with that. So really, really nice kit, well put together. Again, this is going to be a lot of fun to do. So I'm going to go ahead. And this one didn't come in a box. This was just kind of, you can purchase it on its own. So it's not a whole box. So they don't give you like the thread and all that stuff. It's just a bag on its own here. Okay. So let me stick this one on here. Got a couple more. Yes, there's more. We've got some fabric. She's had some fabric that was on sale here. And let me grab my scissors for this and just pop a little hole so I can get this open. This has some really light colors. So this one's kind of off season, but you know, seasons come and go so quickly here that, you know, just in no time, we'll be ready for spring again. So here we've got some pretty colors here, some pinks and some yellows, some reds, kind of a nice flowered mixture. So this one's very pretty. And so we've got some yellows here, more yellows, and more pink. So very light colors, very pretty little stash here that you can get. And then the last thing from Kimberbell was yet another box. It's another perfectly pieced box, and this one is from December of 2024. So certainly something that you can reuse for this year. So let's take a look at it. This one I did not open at all. So let me take this, a little plastic off, and see what we got inside. Yay. Okay. Oh boy, here we go. All right, another perfectly put together box. Very pretty. Okay. Very nice. Not sure why I have a little empty little baggie here. We've got some thread, very pretty, like a sky blue kind of color here, which is really nice. Let's see, can we do desk cam? There we go. So very pretty little color here. It's like a sky blue kind of color. Very nice. Okay. Then we've got some pretty fabrics, and they look like it's all blue. So, oh, this is probably what the baggie was for. It probably slipped off. So we've got some little measuring tape. That's pretty neat. And we've got, oh, another one here. Isn't that adorable? So cute. And of course, the instructions on here. Now, I was a little hesitant because the biggest hoop size I have is a 5x7. So I was kind of hesitant to even get some of this stuff, because a lot of the stuff you want to make on a bigger hoop. But I decided, you know what, let's just go ahead and get it, because it does have different options for a 2-inch block, a 4-inch block, 6-inch block, and an 8-inch block. So it does give you different options to make it. And, you know, I think, you know, why not? You know, so we can go ahead and do that. And so gorgeous. Look at this. Your different projects that you can make on here, all listed here, just like they were on the other one. You can make this little basket with handles, the little wall hanging, you know, different versions of it. And I think they're gorgeous. I love this one, love that one, you know, but I like the little basket too. So I'm not sure exactly which project I want to make with this. But then again, you have the digital files and everything that you need. So you can make this. And then if you want to make it again with your own stash, you can certainly change it up and do a different project with it. So I think that's pretty neat. Let's take a look at the fabrics they have on here really quickly. I have this thing in my throat that just will not go away. And of course, as soon as we finish the live, I bet you it'll disappear. Okay. So lots of blues on here. Let's push this to the side here. So very pretty snowflakes here. Very nice. Oh, desktop. Mr. H is too busy with the chat. There we go. Let's do that again. Okay, so we've got the blues here. Very pretty snowflake. We've got this one here. It's a little lighter. I'll have to bring it up closer, but you can see pretty little roses. I think that's gorgeous. Lots of that. We've got a nice purple. I don't have too many purple fabrics, but I think this one's very pretty. We have a solid blue, like a navy blue here. And then we have, oh, this one's gorgeous. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. So fabrics are gorgeous with this project, so I think this is nice. So I think it's a really nice box and something that I'd like to put together. So let me know if you guys have any of these boxes. Maybe you were part of it and already have done the projects. Which one was your favorite? Let me know which one. I got to decide which ones to do, because these are probably going to be little gifts that I can kind of whip together pretty quickly. So that's something that I would like to do. All right. Last thing, and this is not a Kimberbell thing, but I just had to get it because I was so excited. You guys know I love my rulers, and I got another ruler. Yes, another one, but it's a small one. You can see it's a little mini ruler. It's not that bad. And this one will help you to make curves. Okay. So this is called the QCR Mini, and it's by So Kind of Wonderful. And this is what the ruler looks like here. And it's pretty neat. I love the way they put this together. It really helps you to make a curve, and not only like makes the curve, but it teaches you a technique on how to kind of sew the two pieces together, which is kind of odd. And we can do that. We'll demo that tomorrow. I'll demo using it from start to finish tomorrow. I can show you a couple pieces that I did. Just some scrap stuff that I did on the side, but I was just going into my stash of 5-inch squares here, and I pulled out just a couple just to see, because I was just so curious. I had to see what it looked like because I thought that was pretty neat. But it has the curve right here on the top, and then it does have a bunch of dashes and dots, and there are different lines where you can line things up together. And then you're going to have the measurements going down here of different curves as well here. And of course, this measures about 5 inches and maybe about 1/8, and it'll go all the way across to about 8 inches this way. So the width is about 8 inches here. But pretty neat ruler, the way it works, and the whole concept of how you will make the curve, and you can make all kinds of different designs with it. So This is the little card that it came with. Again, it's called QCR Mini. This is so kind of wonderful. And it pretty much gives you the instructions to make a mini runner here. And this is kind of a picture of the runner right here with all of these curves. Can you imagine sewing all these curves? I would probably go insane, because curves are not an easy thing to do, because once you have cut into that fabric, there's so much stretch going on that it is so easy for you to kind of get off target when you are sewing together, because all that bias is open, it's on, that stretchiness there, you can pull on it. It's really difficult to do that, but they have made it so easy with this ruler, I have to tell you. I've done it a couple of times, and I'll bring out a couple of samples that I have. I mean, I was just playing around with this, guys. I didn't iron it or anything like that, but here's one that I did cut. Let me move this over out of the way. And you can see here, you've got a nice curve going all the way around here. And the most exciting part is the one that you really don't see, but I just get really excited about it. So when I turn this around, see that perfect 1/4 inch seam going all the way around on that curve. That there's no way I would have been able to do this without the guidance of these tips with this ruler. I mean, that's really hard to do. And they make it so easy to do with the ruler. So it's really nice that you can make that curve. And this is just kind of opens the door to all kinds of things. Yeah, right? It looks awesome. It does. It's amazing how you can make this curve. And guys, with little to no effort, it was really, really simple to do. I'll show you the step-by-steps. We'll do one tomorrow live, and I'll show you what it looks like. But I was able to do this with two 5-inch squares. That's all I did. I took a white 5-inch square, and I took this gray one. It's just from my stash. This is kind of the ones that I just use for scraps and for, you know, anything to just kind of do it the first time, right? So you can do this, and then think about all of the things that have curves that you can now do. Like, just even think about pumpkins, right? Pumpkins have that curve, you know, and so usually you will do like an applique, or you'll embroider it and then, you know, cut that piece off. Well, imagine if you would be able to just sew that curve and make that curve so easily, right? So pretty cool that you can do this. And this is the mini. I'm sure there's another version that's probably larger, where you can get even bigger projects, but I thought this was amazing. Yeah, Barbara, you've seen a YouTube video on that ruler. Oh, they have a couple of sizes. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Barbara. Yeah, I had a feeling that this is just the mini. This is just the mini one. And I thought, you know, just so much fun. I'm like, the ability to make that curve. And I have to say, I was a little hesitant when I got it. I was Miss Molly driving the fabric? Yes, she was, Cindy. She sure was. Me and her, we were holding on to our fingernails. We were like, well, let's see if this works, because, you know, I was really hesitant about it, because, you know, there's all kinds of tools and gimmicks that are out there. But I can tell you, this was my first time doing it. And look how it came out. Usually, you know, it'll be all wonky because you don't know really what you're doing. It came out perfect. I was just like, wow, that's pretty good for me to just be able to pick it up and make that curve. And so I didn't iron it. So you do have to press it, but I haven't ironed it yet. So once I iron, this will go completely flat. But I really love how it guided you, and the way you sew this with that 1/4 inch seam is pretty ingenious. I was pretty amazed. I really love, Miss Molly did a fantastic job. I love my little Miss Molly. So I think it was really neat the way this comes out. Here's another one that I did. Again, I haven't pressed them, but you can see that here. Like, really, 1/4 inch. Amazing. And you can see when you flatten it out, you know, you got to bring this down. Amazing. Amazing. Love it. And so then I was kind of wondering, well, okay, let's see, how do we put all of this together? Because, you know, once you have this down, you got to figure out how to put this together. Of course, I've got all different colors and mix match things here going on, but that's fine. Then you got to figure out, how does this work? And it's pretty easy. It's just right sides together. You sew it up and this will align perfectly once you put that together. And so I played around with it a little bit, and, you know, I wasn't too sure on how this was going to work, but I should have did it this way, right? Using these two fabrics. So of course, you know, I'm just playing around with it, but yeah, very easily put together. You do have to trim them down. So you trim them down to about 4 inches or 4.5 inches? I forget what the exact number was on here. Yeah, 4 by 4. You trim them down to 4 by 4 once you are done. And then after you trim them, then you start kind of putting them together. And you can really make, guys, if I kind of play around with this, you know, you can make your circles, right? Like something like this, right? Obviously, it's going to be all lined up and pressed and done perfectly, but you can do that. You can do things like this. So making designs, you can do something like that, right? You can do all kinds of things. You can add something here to extend it out, maybe another 4 inch by 4 inch. Doesn't that kind of resemble a little bit of like a pumpkin? Like if I were to put these two together and add another fabric in between. Let's see, where's my stash here? I'll just throw in, let's just throw in a, I don't know, a gray one. And if I can grab this white one, something like this, and then obviously it would all be sized up, but you could see here where you could kind of make a pumpkin, right? And you can do patches. So if I were to do little squares and then cut all this up, I mean, how cute would that be, right? Then add their little thing on the top and you have a pumpkin. I mean, really, really pretty cool. I mean, there's just a lot of things that you can do with this. And on top of that, after I got the ruler, of course, I was looking, well, what else can I do with this? Because, you know, you're going to spend money on the ruler. I want to be able to do multiple projects. So I went and I found this book. And I was so excited. It's called Mini Wonderful Curves. And these are 16 seasonal quilt projects that you could use with this ruler. Okay, so these are all with the QCR Mini. These are all with the Mini, and there's all kinds of projects. And just look at this one right here on the front. I mean, the circles on here are so, so adorable. And you can really do something beautiful with some really bold fabrics that you have. And so they've got projects for every season that kind of goes, oh, here's one for October. Look at that, little bats and a moon, right? So you can do a nice little moon here. So that's pretty cool. They've got stuff for winter as well. There was one that I saw that it was a Christmas tree. Let me see if I can find that. Oh yeah, here it is. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that. Let me see. Can you guys see that? I'm going the wrong way. Here we go. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that Christmas tree. Like, yeah, I want to make that. That's gorgeous. I thought that was so, so cute. And then the fact they've quilted each of the leaves here with the feathers. I mean, gosh, that looks gorgeous. So I thought, you know, I definitely need to try to make this one. I know we've already done a tree, but I think I'm going to try to make this one too with all these curves. It's just too cute for me not to do. I think it's so, so cute. So I have to try to make this one. So this is the winter version. And then they've got all kinds of different things. They've got autumn on here where you've got some, gosh, I keep going the wrong way here. There we go. We've got some leaves, right? Nice little wall hanging there. And it kind of shows you instructions here as well. So the ruler itself gives you the instructions on what to do and how to do these, but the book also kind of reinforces that. And they've got some nice illustrations here as well. So that's pretty cool. All kinds of different things that you can make here. Let's see here. Here's another one. And let's see. Oh, this one I thought was pretty cool for the summertime. For 4th of July. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Here's the big picture. Isn't that really cool? I love how that came out. I thought that was amazing. That's pretty amazing. I love that. And they've got some real pretty colors. If you're looking for like some summer colors for like maybe a baby blanket, some softer colors, really nice here. And you've got all the shapes. And that would look gorgeous with a nice embroidery on with the baby's name on there, maybe the date, things like that. Really, really nice. I really love that. I think it came out gorgeous. And that's something that looks really easy to do. There's another really unique one. They have these really unique shapes that allow you to make things that you would not have thought about doing if you were not appliquing it, right? If you were appliquing it, obviously you can do all kinds of shapes, but this is not applique. This is just piecing. And so here's got the little birdies on here. Adorable, just adorable. So I really love, love, love all the projects that you can make. Here are the hearts. You know, again, this one was on the cover. This is spring. They've got some tulips. Tulips, how cute is that? Making these flowers here. What a beautiful border that would be as well. So really nice how they have everything lined up in the book. And so it goes really well with this ruler. So I went ahead, I got the ruler and got the book, and I'm excited to do some projects with this. So we will demo the ruler tomorrow, and I will show you guys how easy it is to put it together. I mean, if I was able to pick up this ruler and do it on my first try and it came out pretty good, I'm sure you guys are going to be able to do it too. Question, are the threads with the Kimberbell box is for embroidery? Yes, they sure are. Yes, for Kimberbell, these are all embroidery projects. So the threads that come with it, it's embroidery thread to go with your project. So yes, definitely. But I think, you know, it does a really nice job putting all this together. So I think I'm really excited about all of these projects. I've got the Kimberbell going for the embroidery. So I'll have my embroidery machine going on in the background. And then I can focus on making the curves with the ruler. That I think is pretty cool. So lots of new stuff here, lots of new projects going on. And tomorrow we'll demo how we do the curves and different things. And I'll do it with different fabrics so you can see all the steps and how we sew it together. Because I think that's an important part that really, if you follow this process, it's really going to be really easy to do. Alrighty, guys, it is up. The time is up. So let's go ahead and grab our inspirational quote of the day because I'd like to leave you with that. Alrighty, so today's quote of the day is, gifted crafters are explorers, always ready to discover what a new tool can teach. And that's exactly what you guys are with me today. We've got some new tools on here. We've got some new projects to keep us busy. And we're not going to be afraid to try new things. So we definitely want to give this a try. And we're going to have a lot of fun doing that tomorrow. So I hope you can join me. Alrighty, friends. Our hour is up. Boy, I'm stuttering away. I think it's time for me to finish up my water and grab some coffee. Thank you all for tuning in and all of your support. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
So long for now, so long. Glad you stayed a while. Hope you liked my crafting style. Hope I left you with a smile. By now, keep your mind and space clutter free. Your day is bright as can be. So